Hello guys, back again, another video. Today, Job chapter 4. Guys, if you've been following along so far for the first 3 chapters, we've seen Job take some absolute tragedies in his life. The last chapter, chapter 3, was essentially just a chapter of Job venting and releasing this extreme, I guess, sad emotion and he was cursing his birthday, saying, I want no one to remember my birthday. I want my birthday to be darkness and to be taken out of the days of the year. And he was going crazy, basically. And so we're going to be reading chapter 4, where one of Job's friends, from the 3 friends that came to comfort Job and be with Job, so he has something to say to him. So this, we're gonna hear from Eliphaz the Temanite in chapter 4. And yeah, I hope you guys have got your Bibles and are reading along with me. Let's do this. So then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, "If we venture to converse with you, you will be offended. Yet who can restrain himself from speaking? Behold, you have instructed many, and you have strengthened the weak hands. Your words have held firm him who was falling, and you have strengthened the feeble knees. But now it has come upon you, and you faint, and are grieved. It touches you, and you are troubled and dismayed. Is not your reverent fear of God your confidence, and the integrity and uprightness of your ways your hope? Think, I beg of you, who being innocent ever perished, or where were those upright and in right standing with God cut off?" So in the first few verses there, we see Eliphaz at first almost encourages Job in the way that he, obviously recalls and remembers the times when Job would help other people by the things he would say. And, I don't know if Job preached to them or, just had wise words for people and strengthened them and gave them hope in the things that he was saying. But then he goes on to say, now that the calamity has come upon you, you're distraught. You're not essentially taking your own advice, or like how you used to help the people that were dismayed and in trouble, but now it's come upon you. You're acting dismayed and troubled, So then in verse 7, that's it. Eliphaz starts talking about who being innocent ever perished, or where were those upright and in right standing with God cut off? So now he's talking about, when was there ever a time that an innocent man or a righteous man was cut off by God, was punished by God, was, perished, essentially, I guess not outrightly accusing Job of doing anything wrong by saying that, but he's almost, poking Job, like, it kind of makes sense. Maybe you did do something, because when has a righteous man ever perished or been cut off by God? Anyway, let's read on. As I myself have seen, those who plow iniquity and sow trouble and mischief reap the same. Again, sort of highlighting and agreeing with what he just said. He's saying that people that do wrong, people who practice wrong, reap bad things from it. By the breath of God they perish, and by the blast of his anger they are consumed. The roaring of the lion and the voice of the fierce lion and the teeth of the young lions are broken. The old and strong lion perishes for lack of prey, and the whelps of the lioness are scattered abroad. Now a thing was secretly brought to me, and my ear received a whisper of it, in thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on men. In fear came upon me, and trembling, which made all my bones shake. Then a spirit passed before my face, and the hair of my flesh stood up. The spirit stood still, but I could not discern the appearance of it. A form was before my eyes. There was silence, and then I heard a voice saying, "Can mortal man be just before God? Can mortal man be just before God?" As in, like, upright. "Or be more right than he is? Can a man be pure before his maker? Or be more cleansed than he is? Even in his heavenly servants he puts no trust or confidence, and his angels he charges with folly and error. How much more those who dwell in houses of clay, whose foundations are in the dust, who are crushed like the moth." So essentially, Eliphaz is talking about he had a vision, and this spirit was talking to him in this vision, saying, you know, can a human be upright before God? And he starts talking about how even the angels are charged with folly and, do wrong things. You got fallen angels who are demons. And then he goes on to say, how much more those who dwell in houses of clay. So bodies of clay, us humans, we're made from the dirt, we're made from clay. How much more are we, essentially, wrong. Anyway, so verse 20, between morning and evening they are destroyed without anyone noticing it. They perish forever. Is it not their tent cord plucked up within them, so that the tent falls? Do they not die, and that without acquiring wisdom? So boom, that's the end of chapter 4. Some interesting takes from Eliphaz. We see that he encourages Job in the first part of the chapter. Then he starts to reason with Job, trying to get him to think almost logically. People that do bad receive bad. People that do good receive good. But we know that this life doesn't always work out that way, and affliction happens to people that are righteous, and it's good. Sometimes it's good because God will test us. God will use certain situations to help us grow. God will use a situation to reveal something that we're doing wrong, that perhaps never we went through some pain, we'd continue doing on the wrong. All sorts of reasons why someone who seemingly may not deserve a punishment or a bad thing receives one. But yeah, interesting what Eliphaz is talking about. And obviously he had this vision, this dream of the spirit talking about how humans being I guess, making error and stuff. But it's going to get more interesting in chapter 5 and as the chapters go on, because we start to hear more perspectives from Job's other friends, and we get to see the back and forth that they have. But guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you followed along in your Bibles too. I'm enjoying reading Job. I think it's one of those books that can really be applied to everyone's situation, because everyone goes through something at some point in their life, something that they really don't want to be in. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it blessed you. I hope this encourages you to read more of Job yourself, and obviously the rest of the Bible. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one.